What is poppin' YouTube? It's your boy, it's Bowman Wanderer back in town. So, today, I found myself a nice little video. It's this one I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch The Rambling Irishman. And, yeah, this guy says he restarts his life. I was going to do some AI video, but things change, plans change, and here I am going for The Rambling Irishman.
6 years ago, I had...
I've done a few of these videos now where I'm watching people sitting there who are abroad and they've changed their life, and you think it's easy to do these reaction videos, but it's not always as easy as people make out. Let's see what's going on anyway. I'm digressing.
An accident in Thailand that almost killed me.
Whoa.
6 years ago, I had an accident in Thailand that almost killed me.
I love that start. That is a gripping start. That is the sort of thing that you got to learn from. That just makes me want to continue.
And it happened right before the world shut down.
Is it a moped? What's the chances? What is the chances of it being a moped? Something that I would never do in my life. I mean, it could be anything else. It could be a car accident, whatever. I got my money on a moped.
COVID. And it was just a stupid slip at a pool, but it led to a burst appendix and a burst gallbladder. And you would think, disaster, but turned out to be the complete opposite, because for me...
Slip in a pool? What the hell? I'm guessing he's got more information on that.
Me, it became the biggest life-affirming experience I'd ever had. It woke me up, changed how I thought about everything, and I mean everything. And don't get me wrong, at the time it was terrible. The most pain I'd ever felt. Through a problem with my ISA insurance, I ended up in a public hospital inland, no air conditioning, boiling. Luckily, good doctors, good nurses, good treatment.
And that's just another topic of conversation, isn't it? Scammy insurances. And yeah, I've been done by an insurance company just for food poisoning, however, nothing too tragic. They wouldn't give me my money back. It was way too difficult, so ended up buying flights home, staying like extra days, and just got nothing in return.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die, but those few days, they just changed me forever. It made me realize many things, with the biggest being that I was up to that point wasting my life being worried about stuff I didn't need to be worried about, living life in some ways to please other people, and I was always much too concerned with things that had happened in the past. But I got through it, and I was lucky enough to get back home the day before the flights were stopped. And on the day before lockdown was to begin, when the government announced that everyone would be getting paid, that people like me, self-employed, would be getting a grant. And that was important to me. So I got back feeling relieved, settled in, and that was a big relief to me, because I was self-employed and I wouldn't have been able to work. And because
COVID is what it is. You can't forget that stuff.
Because of how injured I was. So although COVID was a terrible thing, it was perfect timing for me, because I just wouldn't have been able to earn, and that would have put me in a lot of trouble. So I got back home feeling relieved, settled in with my new outlook on life, to live in my apartment for the lockdown period, whatever that was going to be, and it allowed me so much time to focus on nothing but my new life. And while most of the rest of the world was stuck indoors watching endless TV or internet, whatever, I was exploring my new mindset and about what my new life could or should be. And
what is it then, pal? Let's hear it.
By the way, super windy here today. We've had storms for 2 days, the heaviest rain I've ever seen. Make sure you wee-clip of it now. But it's lovely and warm again, the sun's out, but super windy. So I hope it doesn't affect the noise too much. I have this wee speaker which is supposed to cancel it out, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Where was I? Yes. So that led me over the first few months to start planning a brand new future. And during that initial period, I had so many realizations.
How many views this guy got? 7.5K. It's not bad.
And including one that went against my whole life's beliefs. You see, I'd always been convinced that people couldn't really fundamentally change. Certainly, I believed I wouldn't be able to. Too much water under the bridge with all of the past experiences forming who we are and how we think. So I certainly thought it would be impossible up to that point to change direction. And I got that from my dad. That was his way of thinking. But I was wrong. I was looking at it too simply all my life, and I didn't really understand how our brains work, because for as amazing
I really hope this is as profound as he's making out.
and complicated that they are, I realized that they're just a very complicated memory machine. And bear with me, I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And that's what led me to the understanding that we can change. So during that period, I'd spent around, I can't remember, there were 2 lockdowns, probably around 18 months thinking about my future. I realised I wanted a different life. I'd been talking about retiring early and moving abroad for years, but I didn't think I could really do it because I didn't have savings, and it was just one of those things you talk about, but you never think are going to come true. I wanted a happy life. I wanted a happier life.
It's just a bit of a shame, really, that that is England. That is, people want to leave England. Like, they'll work and earn their money and then retire abroad, like, early. That's the dream for a lot of Brits.
So I spent a lot of time initially working out if I could financially afford it. And I concluded that if I sold my apartment, cleared all my debt, changed my lifestyle, get into new habits about practically everything, along with some other changes, that I could. Then it was months deciding what I was going to do and then planning it. And then something happened. Probably the biggest realization of all. I remember waking up one morning and thinking how happy and content I was. And I'd been feeling increasingly great over the whole period of lockdown, but I hadn't thought too much about why, about the reasons. I think I just assumed it's because I'm off work. But that particular morning, it dawned on me. It was because all of the old life stuff that creates stress and worry had all been replaced by positive thinking without me even realizing it was happening. Those months of dreaming, planning, had completely rewired how I thought.
It's good to dream. It is good to plan. It's good to think about stuff. And yeah, you can go for a long time without planning, without like having any real goals, without like, yeah, just having that thing to dedicate yourself to. So when you finally rediscover something like that, it does feel good.
And luckily, to this day, 6 years later, that's never changed. Because you see, in addition to me unknowingly changing how I thought, I've gone on to follow those plans, live that life. And if anything, in the past few years, I'm more content. And that realization that a long period of time thinking positively, planning,
I mean, he's left the UK for some sunshine. Where is he at? Does it say? Can't see anything right now.
being excited about something, that can happen to anyone, or anyone can do that. Because if you change the things that you think about, your brain will, over time, just follow right along. Our brains are what we feed them. That's what they are. They're nothing else. And what other people feed them, the people around you.
I think your brain does change, of course, like when you get into your well, older age, middle age, you just start thinking a lot different compared to when you're a teenager, right? When you're thinking about these first getting into a job and just having all that energy without true clarity. You do get that clarity as you get older, I feel.
And the news that you watch, which I'm currently making another video about, by the way, So, although we can't flick a switch in our brains to go from stress to happy, by thinking positively, by putting ourselves in a place over a long period of time that we're focused on things that make us happy, we slowly turn the dial until the switch is fully flicked. I hope that makes sense. And when that happens, you don't just think differently, you become a different version of yourself.
Think positively. It's just like having a brainwave, isn't it? The bloke's had a brainwave. I can actually move, and it's worked out for him. He's living a dream.
Now I own a small apartment in Spain. I don't have much more. I use reconditioned phones, reconditioned camera, reconditioned laptop. I've been using this phone, I don't know, it must be 4 years now. Doesn't matter to me anymore about having the best at the top of the range.
Yeah, it's kind of leading on from the video I watched earlier talking about saving your money, downsizing. If you're in England and you've got like a house, you could find yourself a flat in Spain or whatever, like he said he's done, and then you got a lot more spare cash.
The new models, you know, we work to maintain things we don't often even like because the alternative, living simply within our means, it's framed as failure. But I found that selling everything that I owned wasn't a loss at all. It was liberating, freeing, and it's led me to being a more content person than I've ever been in any part of my past life other than childhood. And importantly, it allowed me to be able to live a happy, free life rather than a stressful life tied to debt and unnecessary responsibilities. Then there's another big one, and something we have to be honest about. There's the people. When you decide to live in your own terms, like I did, you quickly find out who was actually your friend and who was just a fan of the version of you that followed the rules. I found that there are people in your life who will try to hold you back, intentionally or not. And the truth is, some people just don't make us happy. And to me, I needed to move away from that, and I did.
Yeah, I've never had that problem. Like people holding me back. Nah. It's just people get pushed aside easily. I've been ghosting people for years, you know what I mean? But it's just, yeah, it's only me who's holding myself back. Well, I'm not even saying it's just me. I'm saying there's a whole global cabal of people trying to hold you back, like multi-billionaires who are trying to hold you back. So, yeah, maybe the person next to you has got a bit of a bad attitude, but I think the real problem comes from those at the top.
And I'm not daft, we all have different circumstances. So I'm not talking about people we have responsibility to look after. Sometimes that's happened, and we just have to.
I get the point, and it does lead on from the last guy I watched. He's got some similar points there. Let's check out some flats in Spain. How much dash do we need? And of course, well, freehold is what you want, not flats really, but I don't know where to go. Let's go Valencia. I've been to Valencia. It's quite a nice place. I like Valencia. What? That's not a flat. That's 19 million pounds. Get out of here. Where's the bloomin'? I'm probably gonna buy. Go back to Valencia, please. Oh, this is pissing me off. Go back. 5 million. Okay. Where's the filters up here? Where's the price? This is really a poor website. Apartments in Spain. Home España. Look at that. 210,000 euros. It's still pricey. That's 181,000. A bit out of my budget, dude. Let's take a look at it. 3-bedroom villa. Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's not flat, is it? 180,000. Well, I'd like it. I would like it, but 149,000, 2-bedroom townhouse. It's a bit more like it. Is that pool like a shared pool, I imagine? Oh, that's sick. That is a banging property. That's all I've got to say. I'd absolutely love that. I mean, there's no, like, garden, is there? But nah. But that is no garden for 149,000. 128,000 pounds. Not bad at all, I think. It is beautiful. I would miss a garden because I spend so much time in the garden. I do worry about like how I'd feel without that garden. I'd feel pretty different, but you can get over it.
Accept it. I'm talking about the ones who poison your well-being, family, friends, a boss, bad work colleagues, whoever. The ones who drain you, sometimes intentionally, and especially, as I discovered, the ones who mock your dreams or punish you for changing, or try to punish you for changing. You have to be willing to cut those cords. Getting rid of...
I've never had a problem with that. I know some people do. Some people are more social than me. I'm a bit of a not very sociable, should we say.
I prefer not having more stuff. I prefer not having every gadget.
Yeah, same as that guy. Minimize. Get rid of some stuff. I don't know what I'd get rid of. I'd get rid of a car, I guess. Like if you flew to this place, you wouldn't need a car. Lots of walk-in, public transport, that sort of thing. Yeah, bare minimum. Well, for now, I'm going to leave it, folks. But thanks for watching if you made it this far. And catch you in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.